Hey everyone, welcome to the webinar. Today I want to talk to you about this mindset mastery class, how to get control of your mind, your feelings, and your actions so you can create a life you love and also so that you can love the life that you already have. Today my goal is to show you how mindset mastery can change your life. It can change all the areas of your life. It can change your business, your career, your health, and your relationships. Mindset mastery can be applied to anything, any area of life. So if you stay to the end, you're going to learn three amazing, I don't even know what to call them, three amazing secrets, for lack of a better word, that are going to help you to take control of your mind and take control of yourself so you can get to where you want to go. Who is this for? I would say it's just about for anybody. Entrepreneurs, business professionals, homemakers even, anybody who really who's really into personal growth, who wants to have a better life, who wants to achieve things, who wants to reach their full potential. So in the next 45 minutes or so, I'm going to teach you those three concepts, those three secrets that are going to help you to master your life. And so what makes this different? So this is coaching. This is life coaching. This is creating a better life for yourself. It's not just like a shoulder to cry on, although we do deal with some of the things that have happened in our past, because what happened in the past does affect our future. But this is about moving forward and creating a life that we want. So my name is Doug Spence. I'm a life coach. I'm a hyper learning info junkie. I literally love to learn. I'm learning constantly every day. I've listened to over 2,000 hours of audiobooks, and that's just on Audible. So I mean, there's YouTube and podcasts and everything else that isn't being measured. I'm absolutely passionate about personal development, and I love helping people, strategizing, growing people, teaching people. I just love working with people, especially one-on-one. I'm a life coach at Spence Life Coaching. I'm also a homeschool teacher, and I'm an entrepreneur in marketing and in coaching. So in my life, I've done a lot of things right, but at the same time, I did a lot of things wrong, if you want to call it wrong. And what I've discovered kind of the hard way over these 20 plus years, I'm 40 now. I mean, I really started thinking about personal development around the age of 18. What I discovered is we get who we think we are. That's what the world gives us. That's what we get. Who we think we are is what the world is going to give us. And our beliefs limit us as well. Our beliefs will give us what we believe we deserve, what we believe we can get. And guess what? They are easily changed. And also our perceptions limit us. They're also easily changed, but they can limit us in ways that could happen subconsciously even. So these are some of the things I've learned over the past 20 years. And I've discovered this the hard way. So what I want to do, the reason why I'm doing this is I want to help people. I want them to kind of get the cheat sheet so that they can progress quicker than I did, and they can save themselves a lot of trouble. So some of the things that people do that is the hard way, some of the processes people do is they do what's practical, right? They find a job or career or whatever that's going to make them money, and it's very practical, but they may end up miserable in that job, in that position, because it's not authentic. They they may not know themselves. So they may come out of high school, they were getting good grades, they were making the teachers happy, and then they chose a career and they didn't really know themselves at the time. They didn't know what they loved, and that kind of put them off in this strange trajectory, and now they're kind of feeling stuck. Um, and how do they deal with that? Well, by being positive, by being positive, and that gets pretty frustrating after a while, and it doesn't really work that well. So there's another way, which is changing our beliefs, changing our perceptions, and discovering our authentic self. So I'm here to give you the easy way that gets you what you want, and it's fulfilling. That's key. It needs to be fulfilling. So the 3 mindset secrets I already mentioned there. Secret number 1, we get who we think we are. Secret number 2, we get what our beliefs allow us. And secret number 3, we get what our perceptions allow us. And these are easily changed, but finding out how, that's it, right? So we get who we are, secret number 1. I want to show you this little diagram here, the self-illusion. There's a book called The Self-Illusion. And in this book, this picture is in there. And you can see the middle circle. Is there actually a circle in the middle? There isn't. It's just an illusion. Our mind pieces our identity together. As we're growing up, and depending on our family history, where we were born, our economic status, our race, whatever society says about us, we form this self-illusion. And it's not our true authentic self. It's just this persona that we've created. And this self-illusion, it can limit us. It limits our potential, essentially. So you are none of those things. You actually have an innate, authentic self. Your authentic self is in the things that you love to do. It's when you lose yourself in an activity. It's in the things that bring a tear to your eye. If you're watching a movie and something inspires you and you get that tear in your eye, it's in the things that inspire you. It's in what you have to offer the world. So your authentic self is your gift to the world. And you can get paid to do it. Your gifts to the world can get you paid if you want to. If you want to do that. So discovering your authentic self is half the battle. It really is half the battle. We've got so much information coming in at us, telling us who we think we are, what we can do, what we can't do. Discovering your authentic self is the beginning of creating a life that you love. And it holds the key to your purpose, your true identity, your mission, your contribution to the world, and also in the end, when you're contributing, you can contribute through your business or your career. So, secret number 2, we get what our beliefs allow us. We've all heard of limiting beliefs. So I'll tell you a story about my limiting belief. When I was in grade 2, I was put in a grade 2 and grade 3 classroom split. And I couldn't keep up with the grade 3 kids. And I immediately judged myself. And I said I was dumb. And I just couldn't do it. So that belief literally only took like 5 minutes, and I believed it. But it stuck with me for 6 years. And it stuck with me for 6 years, and I did terrible in school. I was like 40%, 50%. I didn't pay attention, I didn't try, and I literally didn't believe in myself. And the teachers didn't believe in me either. So then something funny happened in grade 8. So I'm sitting in class and, pretending to work or whatever. And one of again, it was actually a grade 8, grade 9 split. And one of the grade 9s says, "Why don't you copy off Doug? He's smart." And I decided, okay, well, I'll take that. And all of a sudden, my belief changed again in an instant. And for whatever reason, I accepted that as true, even though it was coming from the outside. So after that grade 8, I believed I was smart, and I began teaching myself. And I began studying hard, and I began growing myself. So we've all had experiences in our lives where we've judged ourselves poorly, and that became our belief. And then what happens is that belief creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that negative belief created a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. But you can also do this with a positive belief and use that positive belief to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. So some other common beliefs might be about the world in general. Making money is hard, right? Why can't making money be fun? Especially if you're doing what you love. Nobody will ever love me, right? So now we're making generalizations, beliefs about people, about all people. And then we have also beliefs about ourselves, things that we can and can't do. And all of those can limit us, but those can all be changed. We can break through all of those beliefs. And secret number 3, we get what our perceptions allow us. So I'll give you an example of some perceptions. A perception is, well, I hate going to the gym, right? When our perception sees more negatives than positives, then we have an aversion to it, and we don't want to go and do it. Another perception is, I love chocolate. So now we see more positives than negatives, and now we have a positive perception to that. Another perception is, I'm all alone. We may not see, we have a blind spot to the support that we're getting. And another perception is, I'm broke. I have no money or skills. And we haven't dug into our authentic self, and we've devalued ourselves. We've devalued our skills, and we've minimized ourselves through comparing ourselves to others. And so there's another example of perception. And perceptions change how we feel. And how we feel affects our actions that we take and that we don't take. So if our perception is, I hate working out, I hate going to the gym, we're not going to work out, we're not going to go to the gym. If our perception is, I love chocolate, we're going to eat too much chocolate and end up feeling unhealthy. So we can actually change our perceptions so that we love going to the gym and that we have an aversion to chocolate, believe it or not. So I'll tell you a personal story here about removing baggage about my father. So I picked this picture off the internet. He looks kind of similar. So I've actually only met my father 3 times. When I was 6 years old, I wanted to meet him. I really, really wanted to meet him. And I had this fantasy, this ideal in my mind of what my father was, from TV or whatever. I just had this picture that it was going to be great to have a father. So I went to meet him at my grandmother's house, and I walked in the door, and I was like, what is that smell? And I looked over, and it was him. And it smelled like alcohol and just bad smelling homeless guy. And after that, my perception immediately changed. I do not need a father. I'm good. Right? 6 years old. Quick judgment. Then when I was 10 years later, when I turned 16, I was having my birthday at my house. And I had my best friend there, my brother, my mom. And guess who comes knocking on the door? It's my dad. And he's drunk. And I was super embarrassed in front of my friend. And he gave me $80 and he gave my brother $40. And I felt like he was trying to buy me off. And before he left, he hugged my best friend and he thought it was me. And I was completely embarrassed. And I held on to that. I held on to that memory and I had a lot of resentment towards that memory. And I knew it was baggage, you know. I knew it was probably affecting me in my relationships, maybe with my children. I have two sons. So I decided, okay, well, let's work on that. And I asked myself a question. When have I seen him do the opposite? And I've tried. I've sat on that question and I'm thinking, okay, I don't know, maybe my mom saw him do something when I was a baby, maybe when I wasn't there, someone saw him do the opposite. And after holding that question in my mind, my awareness grew and I realized I have seen him do the opposite. On my birthday, he actually remembered my birthday. 10 years later, he remembered my birthday. He took the bus from downtown. He had a withered leg because he had polio when he was a child. And he had to take the bus and then walk 3 blocks to my house. And he was probably scared out of his mind, so he drank. He drank before coming over. Then he gave me $80 and he gave my brother $40. What little money he had, he actually gave it away to our family. So in that moment, I actually learned to appreciate my father, and I felt love. And that bad memory was basically, now I see it as a good memory. So that's just an example of changing perception. So I want to give a little case study, and the best case study I know is myself. So I grew up with poverty, violence, abuse, and drug use in my family. And I did poor in school, and I grew up in a bad neighborhood. My mom was a single mother on welfare with 3 kids. So we didn't have the best opportunities. We had a lot of opportunity to do a lot of bad things. Um, but that one belief that changed in grade 8, where I went from believing that I was dumb to believing that I'm smart, made a huge impact. One belief changed, made a huge impact. So I was able to finish high school with honors. I started studying like crazy. I caught up all those years that I wasted socializing. I wouldn't call it wasted, but I was socializing, not learning. I had to catch up. I caught up enough so that I could go to college, um, get a career. I met my life partner, my wife, at age 20, and we've been together for 20 years. I have 2 kids. I developed such a love of learning. I started martial arts. I learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I made it to a purple belt before I had to quit due to injuries. We own our house. We have no debt. And most importantly of all, I'm completely at ease with who I am. I know myself. I know who I am. And the outside world isn't going to tell me who I am anymore. And I'm ready for the next challenge. So let me ask you something. What's your potential? Something to think about. What's your potential? How far can you really go? How many people can you impact? How many people can you help? How many people can you reach? And who could you be? Who would you be if you took your foot off the brakes? If you stopped letting other people's opinions run you and control you? If you let your limiting beliefs go? And if you were to clear your baggage and create positive perceptions so that you can create positive action? What's your potential? How far could you go? So we all have habits, and our old habits die hard. We have our old perceptions, we have our old beliefs, we have our old identity, and all of this adds up, and it's our baggage, it's our triggers, our reactions, our thoughts, our feelings, and ultimately our actions. And then what that becomes is our limitations. So all of these habits that we've created throughout our life, without intentionally designing them, have given us where we are today. So let's do something right now. So let's look at where we are today. We have our present situation. So where are you now? And what do you wish for? What's missing in your life? What do you dislike? And how do you feel about yourself? So just look at where you are in your life. And where is your life going? If you don't do anything right now, where are your current habits going to take you? Are you liking the picture? Where are your current beliefs going to take you? And how are your current perceptions making you feel? How do you feel on a day-to-day basis? And is that going to change in any time in the future? So instead of your default future, you can create a new future. Where do you want to be? What do you want to have? Who do you want to be with? And what do you want to do? What does your day look like when you wake up? What do you want your perfect day to be? And who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? So you might be thinking, well, what next? I mean, I'm starting to get an idea, this new future that I'm liking. What can I do next? Well, I'd like to invite you to join me for a free 30-minute discovery session. And in this session, we're going to look at your current life, we're going to look at your goals and your future challenges that are come along with any goal. And we're going to start to kind of carve out that new future together. And we're going to look at how you can make all of this happen. And for coming to the discovery session, I'm going to give you the updated map of consciousness. And basically what it is it has a list of thoughts and thinking, and there's specific thoughts that are stressful and painful, and there are specific thoughts that are enjoyable and peaceful. And this will help you raise your awareness so you can catch yourself when you're thinking in stressful ways, and you can start to replace those thoughts with more peaceful and more productive and more resourceful. And you're going to find yourself becoming more resourceful when you change these thinking patterns. You're going to start seeing things that were always there, you just weren't able to detect them at the time. So who is this for? Who's here to who can set up a meeting with me? Who usually wants to set up a meeting with me? Entrepreneurs who want to level up. They may want to change their business. They may want to get more employee engagement. They may want to do some planning, some master planning. Employees who also want to transition to a business, or they want to manage their employees better. homemakers who want to start up a side business or improve their family life, or anyone really who wants to learn, who wants to grow, who wants more fulfillment from their relationships, from their life in general. Here's a testimonial from Scott W. I have worked with Doug over several years, and he has coached me during some of the most challenging times in life, such as divorce, substance abuse, and a lifelong struggle with weight. Doug provided me with objective, informed, and practical coaching that helped me overcome challenges I have not been able to accomplish without him. What I really like about this is it says practical in there, and that's one thing I really focus on is practical. Does it work? Do these things work? And yes, they do. And so if all this did was change one impactful belief, would it be worth it? Like that belief that I changed in grade 8. It literally changed the rest of my life. If it could just change one impactful habit, would that be worth it? One habit can change the rest of your life as well. One positive habit. Or even dropping a negative habit, of course. If all it did was improve your confidence, would that be worth it? What would you do with your life if you had more confidence? So you basically now have two choices, two futures. You can do nothing, not take a chance on the session, and just let the chips fall where they may. The other choice is to take action on your new future. Take this small step and start to create a new path. So all you need to do now is book your free discovery session. Just send me an email. The email box is at the bottom of the page. If you scroll down, go to spencelifecoaching.com/webinar, and you can just send me an email and we'll set up a time, and we'll get your discovery session. And if you didn't sign up immediately, well, usually the number one reason is belief in yourself. There's something still going on there. Maybe you're concerned about the opinions of others. Maybe you just don't believe in yourself. But look within yourself. Look within yourself and decide if this is right for you. You decide, and if you think it's right for you, then go over to spencelifecoaching.com/webinar. Send me an email. Let me know you want the free session, and we'll set that up for you. So whatever you decide to do, I want to wish you all the best in your endeavors, in your life, and I hope to hear from you. Okay, thanks.